One more thing. The NBA got in its way again with All-Star Weekend. But what do we see from Kyrie Irving? We'll talk about all that and more in today's One More Thing.
I'm here because I have to be.
Dallas is going to get a seat at the table.
That's it. It's me versus the machine. Don't let his whiteness take away from his quickness.
You can rest later. You're young.
And then recover here.
Wait. One more thing.
Yeah, you're still locked on to the Dallas Mavericks. My name is Nick Angstadt, media member covering the Dallas Mavericks for 10 years and NBA channel manager, Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $150 in bonus bets with your first $5 bet wins. Today's episode, we're going to talk about NBA All-Star Weekend, talk about our thoughts around everything, and get some opinions on the new formats. New formats all around. Talk about that and get into it. Today's joined by the One More Thing King himself. What you got for me, Isaac Harris?
What about that self-oop by Kyrie?
Oh, the best part of the weekend.
It was the best part of the weekend. There's a lot to dunk on, pun included, on the NBA of the weekend. But you know what? Watching Kyrie Irving try his butt off when they did play basketball, and just seeing his interaction with fans and stuff, I love seeing Kyrie do his thing this weekend.
We saw Kyrie Irving play with the OGs, play with Shaq's team. They ended up winning the All-Star format, and they ended up playing 2 games. They played their first game. Kyrie had 4 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals, Isaac. Filling up the box score. He also had a great alley-oop to Jaylen Brown, which was called the moment of the night at that point. He was actually trying on defense. He got some steals, was not letting people get by him, which I thought was admirable. Second game, 7 points, 3 boards, 2 assists, 2 steals. Again, trying, had the alley-oop off the backboard to himself. Nasty. He also had a moment where he crossed up Wemby, and he could have just gone for the step back, like mid-range jumper, but instead he tried one more move to make it just that much more, step through and missed the finish. That would have been the highlight of the night for sure.
Yeah, he also had the move on Wemby before that too, just like letting the ball dribble and then like zoom right past Wemby and he scored. But yeah, I mean, he was putting on a show, man. Like, he was entertaining and he was trying. And when you have a guy like Kyrie that's respected, with all the guys, when he's trying and busting his butt out there, it matters to him. And it just watching him this weekend. One, obviously he's there because Anthony Davis got hurt and he fills in for AD, so he's there. He has his kids. He has. He's doing all the questions and all these videos of him with fans and stuff. He's answering all the questions about what's happening back in Dallas still. And it's just like, dude, Kyrie is carrying right now.
Yes.
In an unfair way. He's doing way more to be the spokesperson for the Mavs in a positive way, and carrying this like fan base than anybody above him. So it's just like, he's answering questions way better than what, and he's recognizing the fans. He's, busting his butt and playing hard and all this stuff for the Mavs and at All-Star Weekend. Like, it's just like, what more could you ask of Kyrie Irving over the past few weeks?
It felt like that to me. And just seeing all the stuff, like you said, from All-Star, it made me really appreciate Kyrie as an ambassador for the for the NBA and the game as a whole, but also just for the Mavericks now. Because he is standing in there answering some questions. I didn't think he got a ton of Mavericks questions, at least from some of the stuff that I saw, but he is still the face of the Mavericks right now, player-wise. Anthony Davis is sidelined, not going to play, and so Kyrie is out there, and him taking the All-Star game seriously and all that. I mean, I just respected and appreciated what Kyrie did on that stage, that he would actually kind of take it seriously. He'd go out there, try. Kevin Hart was given a trophy at the end, and Kyrie walked up to him and he's like, participation trophy. I was cracking up about that too.
Yeah, it was cool. It was proud to have Kyrie in a Mavs jersey, especially after All-Star Weekend and what all's transpired over the past few weeks.
Can I say something I really appreciated about All-Star Weekend?
Oh, yes.
And this is not anti the player, obviously. We've been so pro this player for so long. I was really glad Luka was not part of it, because I think that would have been such a weird thing.
Oh, yeah.
To have that happen like in this moment so quick. Next year, I think it'll be completely different. Kyrie, AD, Luka all out there. It'll be fine. It'll be what it is. They'll have played each other a couple times, all that. But I was very appreciative that that it worked out that way where Luka missed because of injuries and he wasn't out there and all that, because man, imagine all the like the pictures and the moments, just all that kind of stuff. I really appreciated that in this moment.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like just Luka wearing Laker stuff, getting introduced like that, and all. Yeah, yes. Happy for Luka getting the break over the All-Star break, get healthy and all that.
Did you see his Instagram? He was watching Real Madrid on his laptop by the pool.
Yeah. I think he's gonna enjoy that LA weather.
He's doing all right. Oh man, so funny. Yeah, but I appreciated that. That was one of the low-key things that I was like, man, I'm just glad that, because it would have just been another just assault of Mavericks fans and of people just, oh, here we go again. And now we have to see Kyrie and Luka interact and at the All-Star festivities and all that.
Yeah, I shot off this like kind of funny thing I made super quick on Canva the other day of like, hey, it's been 0 days since something new has reminded me of how awful the Luka trade is.
Yeah.
Because it feels like every day there's something, right? Like there's some dumb conversation I have with like the, I don't know, Amazon delivery package, guy. And it's like, hey, dude, Luka. It's like, oh my God. But it's like, it's also new stuff that's like said in the media. And it's like, you had the All-Stars doing their pressers the other day. It's like Jokic is talking about how, shocked, Luka was. I'm like, great. It's his best friend. Then, you have Wemby talking about, it's like, dude, it's the craziest thing, like showing empathy for the fans. I'm like, wow, that'd be cool from the front office. And you just like go down the line of like the stars, like getting asked questions about it. Adam Silver, answers a question about it when he gets, I'm pretty confident that it was the first question asked to Adam Silver was about the Luka AD trade. And he's like, hey, I didn't know anything about it. All right. So I was just as surprised as you all.
Yeah, I guess we let's do Adam Silver's comments. We might as well here. He said, I
shot it out as if you're a Locked On Mavs insider.
That's right.
That quote from Silver.
That's right. Get the text. Subscribe to our text line. I can say one thing for sure: whether or not history will ultimately judge this as a smart trade, they did what they thought was best in the best interest of their organization. I have absolutely no knowledge or belief that there were any ulterior motives. No doubt in my mind, the Dumont Adelson families brought that team to keep it in Dallas. I have no doubt whatsoever they're committed to the long-term success of that franchise. You know what I thought with that quote? Do you? You have no doubt that they have the long-term success of the franchise? They traded a 25-year-old superstar? Like, and then Adam Silver comes by like, hey, just believe in the franchise kind of thing. Believe in the front office. And I'm like, believe in what? Believe in the organization? Believe that in what at this point? That's what I got met with. And yeah, I was glad that Luke was not part to think about the trade again, but then Adam Silver's comments made me think about it all over again.
Yeah, I didn't see him say the believe in the organization part.
Time will tell whether it was a smart trade, but they should believe in their organization.
Yeah. I only say this just because like, hey, what's the so much has changed in the organization. You gotta. They're kind of like rewriting, writing a new story. Like you don't have much to go off of with this new regime.
It's the Jerry Seinfeld joke. The Jerry Seinfeld joke about rooting for a sports team is eventually, over the course of your lifetime, you eventually just root for laundry because everybody changes. The owners change, the front office change, the players change.
I do believe in when it comes to like, keeping the franchise in Dallas. I've never bought into any of that stuff. And there has to be, there's a lot of vetting. There's a lot of conversations, a lot of stuff that happens to become an owner. There's a lot of crazy things that have to happen for you to move a franchise, including a vote with all the other owners and stuff. Like there's just so much different stuff. So I believe everything with that part of what he said of they're committed to keep it in Dallas and all that.
Yeah, I agree that. I just don't know about what long-term success means for the franchise anymore. I don't know what that word means.
I think he's just firing at the hip at that point.
Coming up, Kyrie talked to the media and answered a couple questions. A couple I found interesting. And how did the NBA get in its own way? Talk about that and more coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs, the One More Thing's brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook has all kinds of props and odds, things that you can use to get in on the action. With FanDuel, you can place live bets, and you can do it without missing any of the action right now. You can get a bigger payout. You can combine your live bets into a same-game parlay. New customers can bet can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Go to FanDuel, see what is available. They have all kinds of NBA, NFL, college, all that kind of stuff. Go check it out, see what is available. They still got Mavs Lakers, the February 25th game. Lakers 7.5 favorite on that one right now.
Interesting
on that one. So go check it out. They have a ringer special. You ready for this one? Our guy Bill Simmons, the Bill Simmons special. Golden State Warriors, Minnesota Timberwolves, and Detroit Pistons to all make the playoffs, plus 142.
That means they have to win the play-in too.
Yeah, to all make the playoffs. So you can do that on FanDuel. Bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if that wins. Make everyone more. FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
All right, Isaac, let's check it back in with NBA All-Star. They got in their own way, I feel like, the whole weekend, but especially the actual like All-Star Sunday game of itself. It was 3 hours. From like 7:10 till like 10:10, basically Central. And I felt like 2.5 hours of it was commercials, skits with Mr. Beast, which that moment was actually really great. The Kevin Hart stuff just over and over again. They did like a 20-minute tribute to the TNT guys, even though they're going to ESPN next year. Like TNT, the channel, like oh, cool. Great. I guess TNT got to give a sign off to those guys, even though I guess they'll do playoff games too. But it was just the NBA got in its own way because I thought the games on Sunday were actually better until that super long break in the third game. And the players even said it. Jason Tatum has a comment that said it was really hard to start again after 20 minutes off. They talk about it in the NFL where that huge halftime show is like a really long break and you have to prep differently and all that. I just thought that the NBA got in its way so many different times this weekend.
Yeah, they would have. I mean, the NBA would have felt so stupid if somebody got hurt, there at the end.
Yeah,
it's just because.
Well, that's why the players didn't play harder.
Yeah, LeBron saw that rundown of Sunday and was like, "Yeah, my ankle's hurting. I'm good."
Anthony Edwards, same thing with his groin. He warmed up. He was warming up like in a fitted hat, and still like went out there and then decided not to play. Like he was a healthy scratch, I guess.
He probably did some karate chops on his groin, and then he's like, I'm out. When Mac McClung is the clear winner from an NBA All-Star weekend, there's some issues at hand. Like
tough.
And it's no like it does sound really disrespectful to Mac McClung because what he did, I mean, jumping over the car was one of the best dunks I've ever seen in a contest. I was loving the dunk contest. I thought Castle did great too.
Yeah.
But Mac McClung can't be your storyline coming out of an NBA All-Star weekend. You don't have stars in the dunk contest. You have Chris Paul trying to rig the skills competition.
That was hilarious.
All like, I don't know, 28 people are watching that. 3-point shootout. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of cool. I mean, it was fine. And then the All-Star format, I was actually down for like, they tried more. I was down for like the basketball side. It helped that you had somebody like Wemby that's so young. It was kind of reminded me of like young Giannis when he got in there.
Yeah.
And was just like, I'm gonna dunk on everybody. And it's like, all right, cool. You gotta kind of have a few players like that. But yeah, just the entertainment part. I'm like, this isn't entertaining. Like I don't know who it's for. And I'm actually not as anti like Kevin Hart as some, but it's like, all right, your stick is kind of old right now.
Well, they just went to it they went to it too many times. Like they just kept going back to it over and over again. And it just felt like they've lost the plot. First of all, the All-Star game's always been bad. It was good one time when they did the Elam ending, and then it was good in like 2001. Like that's the All-Star game people go back to. It was just like at rare times it's good. It's the same as the dunk contest, where at rare times it's good, but most of the time it's bad. And that just is what it is, right? Like sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I think we fantasize about the old All-Star games and think that they are very good. There's not a lot of defense played in those old All-Star games and stuff like that, right? Like they're just jacking up more threes now.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's a little bit more
Last year's was the worst.
Yeah.
I was there. I was in the building. That was not. They scored 200 points.
I think there's only a couple ways that you're going to get like an all out like attempt, which you're never going to get like all out like diving on the floor type of thing.
No.
But obviously, if you up the winning costs, if some are you got a couple $1 million per player, something like that, or two, if they ever did figure out, and this changes up so much of the stuff, but if you ever did a world versus USA stuff, I think both sides, and you kind of got that
seem to factor in.
Yeah, you kind of got that a little bit tonight. Chuck, tried to draft a lot of the world players, but you imagine a healthy Luka, Jokic, Wemby, SGA, and some other guys against the team that won it tonight. Like, I think you would get a type of. Yeah, I don't know if the NBA wants that, but I think that's the only like non-incentive way in which both sides would try really, really hard.
They kind of did this a couple years ago. I think what they should do is they should have like 4 groups of kids, just like take up a whole section. All right, if you win, the money goes to this organization. If you lose, it doesn't. These kids lose.
Yeah.
Got to win it for the kids. Didn't they try that a couple years ago?
I felt a little, yeah.
What, we're exploiting the kids? I don't know, giving them free tickets to the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Kyrie said a bunch of things at his media availability. I'm going to go through them rapid fire with you.
Go for it.
He was asked the question, who will be the face of the league in 5 years? Who do you think he said?
Wemby.
He did not answer the question in complete Kyrie fashion and said you need to rethink and reevaluate why there has to be a face of the league.
That's just the greatest Kyrie thing
so
ever.
much so Kyrie. It was very funny. He's like, why are you asking me that? You got to reevaluate what that means. He plays horse by these rules, which is completely Kyrie as well. You have to do the whole move. You have to do the crossover, step back. You can't just like shoot from the spot in horse. And I just thought that was very Kyrie too.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Do you think you could get one letter on Kyrie?
No.
Not even close.
I mean, if I shot from like half court and I just got lucky in the first shot, maybe.
He was asked one rule he would want to add to the NBA or change.
Oh, God. He could veto a teammate's trade.
I wish. No, a shortened season and a longer break at All-Star.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
And then there was a guy from Overtime who just went up and said, Kyrie, no question. Just wanted to say, and then just basically said, you're so tough. You have the biggest bag in the NBA, and that was it. And they just stopped. There's no question.
Yeah.
And we're just glazing at press conferences now.
Yeah. Yeah, I did see that. I thought that was kind of funny.
Do you have any other favorite moments of All-Star Weekend?
No, I mean, I think Mac's dunks were insane. What he was doing out there was just like
the one where he tapped the rim that's underrated to me. He jumped over.
Yeah. The highest point of the car, jump was crazy. Like he is a lot of fun. I mean, him and if Mac McClung gets, Ja Morant and some of these guys to be in the dunk contest, that's the greatest accomplishment of his whole entire career.
Yeah, put him in the hall.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, send him to Springfield right now if he gets, stars back in the dunk contest. But yeah, that was fun. I mean, outside of that, that was just like the peak moment of, I guess Steph hitting some shots tonight from half court.
The Mr. Beast skit, like the Mr. Beast thing where he brought a fan out and said, all right, Damian Lillard and you from the logo, if you have to hit 1 before Dame hits 3 and you win $100,000. And this kid Jaren was pulled out of the crowd. And at the buzzer, literally, Mr. B said, we have 30 seconds before NBA goes to commercial. And Dame misses another one, I think on purpose. And then the kid Jaren hits one right at the buzzer. And that was probably the best moment for me of the whole weekend. Like, that kid got $100,000. Oh,
see, that's a problem.
Yeah,
that's
right.
a problem if that's like in the running for your best moment of the whole weekend for NBA All-Star.
But the NBA needs these like organic moments like that, and that was kind of contrived. But you can't make up a kid hitting maybe they turned the magnets on, but anyway.
I did thoroughly enjoy Chris Paul getting like semi upset that they were like, "Hey, you're disqualified." I'm like, come on, dude! Like you're trying to like cheat the system on the skills competition.
It was cathartic.
Don't be rubbing off on Wemby either. You obviously convinced Wemby to do that. And
that was cathartic.
Come on, dude.
Absolutely. So great stuff. Maybe not the all-star great stuff, but we'll see what happens. It'll be completely changed next time. Guys, thanks for hanging out with us on Locked On Mavs. Check out different ways to follow the show. Thanks so much for listening to Locked On Mavs. One more thing.
Peace out.